Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another cool arcade game pickup and repair for you this evening. Well, I had to drop everything that I was doing and get in the truck. Some guy called me, said he was moving, and he was giving away a free Road Kings pinball machine. And I said, okay, yeah, that sounds good. I'd like to have that. Yeah, well, the guy was an hour and a half away from me. So I had to drop everything I was doing, get in the truck and go. And here's where it gets kind of strange. He said he's not going to be home. He'll leave the door unlocked for me. Just go ahead and go inside and get it. And I said, okay. And he was like, yeah, you might have to take the door off of the bedroom. And I was like, okay. And he was like, yeah, just put it back if you don't mind. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to start heading that way. And, you know, I want to make sure it's going to be there when I get there because I'm an hour and a half away. You know, I just don't want my time wasted. And he was like, yeah, if you don't hear back from me, just come on. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to head that way. So I'm thinking that he's going to call me and say, oh, never mind, I changed my mind. So he didn't. I'm still going that way. It's been like a half hour. I'm still about an hour away from the guy's house. So I'm hoping he's going to be there. Well, I'm hoping it's going to be unlocked at least. I guess I got everything in a text message in case they try to charge me with breaking and entering or something. I don't know. But this is a first for me. So I kind of got, I don't know, it's just I got to roll the dice. I mean, it's going to be a 3-hour round trip plus gas and, you know, my time and everything. So technically it won't be free, but it's kind of just the thrill of the chase, I guess. If I get there and it's in pretty good shape and it ends up being free, I guess it'll be worth the trip. Or it could be like the Mooresville deal all over again where the guy stole the thing or something and the cops show up. So we'll see how it goes. But I'll be back with you in a little bit, hopefully with the game on the back of my truck and not me being pissed off that I wasted 3 hours and $50 in gas. Anyway, I'm hoping for the best. Here, buddy, I got it. All right, I got it all loaded up. You know what that means. We're gonna make that money. So I had to get it loaded up, get out of there. Time to head back home. And tomorrow, whenever I get it unloaded, I'll tell you a little bit more about the story, and we'll check out what kind of shape it's in. The cabinet looks like it's in pretty good shape. I didn't look at the Playfield much or the boards or anything. I literally just loaded it and got the heck out of there. But I told you I didn't have time to clean out my truck or anything. I had to drop everything I was doing and go. I was doing some yard work. I started heading that way. You got to strike while the iron is hot. All right, so made it back to the store. Here's our first look at it. The cabinet's in pretty good shape.
I kind of like it.
Ronnie likes it. How's it sound, right? You remember what it sounds like, Ronnie?
I don't. It's it goes Road Kings or something like that.
That's what I thought it did. Yep.
Is that? I wonder if Mark Ritchie designed this. I wonder if Steve Ritchie did the voice, because Steve Ritchie is the guy that did the voice on Mortal Kombat. Blue King wins. That's Steve Ritchie.
Mm-hmm.
Finish him. All that.
Well, the cabinet's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, the cabinet's pretty good.
The Playfield, we don't know.
The Rat owns the Playfield.
The Rat owns the Playfield. He moved in.
Remember that one I did on the channel here? I think I showed it. That was probably before that. But I repainted the cannon there in the middle.
Yeah, this
one doesn't have any wear there, so that's a lot better than that one. If you look on that left outlane too, it looks worn, but I think it's just dirt.
Look, it's got a piece of Mylar there in the middle.
See that left outlane?
I think that's gonna come off.
And then there was some up at the top under that ramp.
That's a feather.
There's just something laying in there? Okay. So there's duck spin in it too.
Some kind of feather.
Okay.
Of whatever animal this is.
This might be one of those ones with a snake in it.
A lot of people would see that and get all freaked out about the
vacuum cleaner will get rid of that real quick.
I like it when they're like this.
Yeah,
if it was
the price down.
If it was nicer than this, it wouldn't have been free.
Exactly. The price was right. And it's a Road Kings. That's a fun game.
I did have to, it wasn't totally free. It took me about 4 hours to go get it. And,
40. If you count your gas money, you ain't never going to make
$40, $50 worth of gas.
You can't count your gas, you ain't never going to make any money.
But, I mean, the Playfield, I think it's going to clean up real good. But anyway, the back glass on these are plastic. That's good.
Of the speaker.
Because of the speaker, Ronnie says.
They had to do it.
They cheaped out. They didn't want to put that other thing here, probably.
Yep.
You know that black thing?
Cutting costs.
Cutting corners.
Yep.
But I like it when they're plastic. You know why? Can't break them that way. No, you don't have to worry about it. I can take this thing out in one hand like this.
Yeah.
Lay it down.
Throw it on the floor.
Wham, bam. Ain't no problem.
Can't break that. Oh, hell.
There it is.
What did they do?
Does anybody see what they did? They left the batteries in there. Well, they left one battery in there, but the other two probably fell out when it disintegrated.
That don't look too bad. I think it can be fixed. Look over on the power supply, Joe. See where those yellow wires go in on the bottom?
Uh-huh.
That's the AC coming in, and they come out those wires right next to it. That's usually burnt all to hell. Uh-huh. And that one's not, so it tells me there probably hadn't been played a lot.
That's a very low mileage unit here.
Exactly. Probably
only on Sundays. Little old lady owned it.
Only on Sundays.
Yep. So, that's kind of a crazy story, Ronnie. The guy called our buddy. He called our friend. Our friend didn't want to go get it because it was, it was a 4-hour round trip. So, luckily, my friend called me, and he knew I'd go get it.
Yep.
So, I called the guy. Yeah, I called the guy and talked to him, and he sounded real cool on the phone. And, he said, yeah, if you want it, just come get it. He said he was moving. But the whole thing was, he said he wasn't even going to be there. He'd leave the house unlocked for me, which I was a little worried about that. Because what if he did not leave the house unlocked? I just wasted 4 hours.
Or what if that ain't his house?
Exactly. So then I get there. Nobody was home, like he said. I knocked on the door. I waited a few minutes. Then, I opened the door. He told me to go in. So then I go in, and I'm like, it's Joe. I'm here for the pinball machine. Don't shoot me. I'm here. Nobody was there. He had the air conditioner running. It was nice and cool in there. Looked like he was probably doing some remodeling or something because there were some tools and stuff in there. I did not touch anything but the pinball machine and the door. I had to take the door off the hinges. He didn't even tell me where it was. I actually had to wander around him.
It was like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, I actually had to wander around hoping that I saw a pinball machine and this wasn't some practical joke.
Yep.
But I finally made it to the back of the trailer. It was a double wide trailer. And in the back bedroom, this thing was sitting there. And I took a picture of it sitting in that room in case you want to splice it in right here on the video.
All right.
I didn't really want to film too much because I didn't want to film inside some guy's house and,
Yep.
you know, he wasn't even home. But anyway, we got some battery damage. Cabinet looks pretty good. I think the Playfield's going to clean up just fine. It's probably broke though, but
It's time to plug her in.
Ronnie wants to plug it in.
We need to look underneath it though. Fix that.
Mm-hmm.
One last thing.
They're all leaking them Duraleaks. Ain't that what they
They
call
all
them?
do that.
Duraleak.
Everybody blames Dur. They all do it.
Everybody's going to say in the comments what type of battery they should. Look, I can't go back in time 20 years ago and tell the guy what type of battery to put in there.
I'll tell you, I don't give a damn. The thing was free.
It was free.
I don't care if the whole board was
If he would have had the good batteries in there, it would have probably still been working, and then he would have wanted $500-600 for it.
Hello.
Anyway,
People are crazy.
they're crazy. Let me plug this thing in.
Wait, we gotta look inside it.
You don't want to just plug it
Might be a
in.
snack.
You know the guy plugged it in.
Yeah, that's true. But then you moved it. All right, plug it in, but get ready to turn it off.
They like it when I plug it in and then it catches on fire.
Yeah.
That gets the views up.
That's true. Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, I plugged it in. Is it on fire? All right, Ronnie seems to think it might work. We'll see.
It ain't gonna boot because of the batteries, but it'll halfway work.
You lied to me.
Dead as hell.
Did we got that plugged in over there? Yep, we're plugged in. Well, it's broke. You know what the guy told me? He said, yeah, I don't want to get in the back and mess around with them tubes.
Well, that's a good point.
Well, now we're going to have to now we're going to have to open it up and check it with the multimeter, make sure we're getting.
Fuse inside of it. Inside the coin door.
Ronnie thinks it's the main fuse.
Look over there to the right. Oh, we don't have that box in this one.
Oh, yeah, it does. There's a main fuse in there.
Yeah, gonna be that fuse.
There'll be a fuse right inside.
Which means you might have more problems, or it could have
Right inside there.
You could have stuff disconnected in there somewhere.
Right there. Well, I guess we're actually going to have to open it up and look at things. All right, that's next. Well, I lifted up the Playfield, and then look what I saw. That's why you open the Playfield first. Ronnie was right. I still thought it was a lot funner to open it. I mean, to plug it in. It was more fun the way I did it. Everybody knows it was. So now I got to get that fuse and put it back where it went. Right in that box, just like we said it would. Remember? It's gonna go right there. I'm gonna unplug it first. Well, I tried to put the fuse in and it wasn't grabbing it like it should. So I had to take this box out, and sure enough, the fuse holder is broke. So I'm gonna replace this fuse holder, put this fuse in it, and we'll try it again. Got the fuse holder replaced with the new fuse in it. We're going to try it again. Switch must still be off. Let's see. Got some display problems. It's trying to say factory reset or factory adjustments menu or whatever the heck it says, because it doesn't have any batteries in it. Let's see if we can do the little off on thing real quick. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. You know what that means? So that display looks good. These two here are pretty bad. And the bottom two, I thought I saw that one on a minute ago, but maybe not. Yeah, well, that one's got issues too. We may end up splurging and getting the LED set up for this, or if we've got a couple original ones, we may just put some original ones back in. I don't know if we've got any left over from another project or not. Let's see if we can get it to coin up, I guess. I think I took the ball out of it. Is there a ball in it? Yeah, I may have took the ball out of it. Nope, there it is. It's stuck up here in the rat's nest. Doesn't want to start a game. Oh, because the door, maybe because the door's open. Get this thing out of there. Oops. Anybody see that spark? It's fine. The door, oh, the lockdown bar thing was open, guys. Still don't want to start a game. Oh well, I'm not going to worry about that. That's future us problems. Right now, I want to vacuum all this out. I want to vacuum the inside. And we're going to do the Playfield in this video. Got to get this all cleaned up. And then we'll worry about the boards and stuff probably on the next video. You may be wondering, Joe, why the heck are you working on this thing today? You've got other stuff you could be working on. You just got this one. I don't know. There's something about the thrill of getting something for free and then figuring out what the heck's wrong with it right away. I've got 100 other games I could be working on, and I'm not exaggerating. I've literally got 100 games I could be working on. But, you know, we pretty much work on whatever the heck we want to work on around here. And I'm kind of wanting to work on this one. Want to see if I can figure it out. I've also got a friend of mine actually already wants to buy it, I think. So, you know, I want to get it finished up as soon as I can so I can get that money and move on to something else. Alrighty, well, I'll be back with you whenever I start doing the Playfield. I'm going to vacuum it first and then we'll do the Playfield. Well, I got everything off the Playfield and cleaned. Unfortunately, this over here must have been rat pee that we were seeing. And it ate up the paint over here on this side. It's got a pretty good bit of wear around that, but that's pretty normal. More wear up there, pretty normal. Got some wear up here on the flames. Wear here on the rear, on the red. Most of the Playfield actually has Mylar on it. All this has Mylar on it. All the way up and through there. But it stops right here. Stops there. Then the rat decided to pee here, and it basically took all the paint off. But I think we're on here to touch it up. It needs some work though. Both of these, well, this one here is cracked. So I didn't even bother cleaning this one because usually I won't have one that matches. So you usually got to change them in pairs unless I just happen to have a Williams one this same color. This kick out here is broke. I can't remember if there was anything else. I think that's it. So I'm gonna try to get Ronnie to touch it up a little bit. I gotta wait on him to touch that up, clear it, touch some of that up there and clear it. He's probably gonna do some of that red there and over there. A little bit of black here, a little dab here, a little dab there. It'll be fine. So once he does that, I'll come back, wax it, put it all back together. I don't know if you noticed in the first one of those clips, there was an extra ball up there and it fell down, and that's probably why it wouldn't start, because it's got to have all 3 balls in it to let you start a game. But anyway, I think it's still going to be all right. It's got a little bit more wear on the Playfield, but we'll get it. Good thing is it's kind of busy, so I don't think you're going to notice that, because it may even have the plastic that covers that. Where is that? Going to cover it any? Nope, that doesn't cover that. But the one on the right does cover all this. Might still touch it up anyway, but anyway, enough of that. Be back with you in a little bit.
All right, folks, Joey has been working through this thing and has got it down to the bare wood. Now, it does have some issues here and there. So we've got some wear over here. I think mouse urine or something might have done that. There's a lot of mylar in the middle, so all of it's pretty good. Got some wear here. Wear here. Now it's got a gradient on it. See how it turns from red to orange using the little dots? Wear up here, which this is a darker red than down here. See the line? The gradient stops. Wear up here. Bad wear there. Wear there. More wear there. Wear here. And a little there. And then the worst is probably around this drop target. Look at that. So, you know, it's a busy playfield. There's a lot on it, so it hides a lot of it, but still it kind of needs some work. So I guess we're going to try to touch this up. Try to make it look a little better. That is under the mylar. I don't know. I guess they put the mylar on later or something. I don't know why that would be like that. I can't do anything with that. We need to look and see how this originally looked. I guess maybe this line goes straight down. But was there like a little ring around that or something originally? Let's see if we can find a good picture of that one in good shape. Look, here's some more. That's under the mylar, so I can't fix that. Now I know you can remove the mylar, but on these older playfields, we don't like doing that because it just rips more paint off and it makes a big mess. And you know, we're not restoring it. We're just trying to make it look presentable. So let's look and see how that originally looked around that drop target. Okay, so I'm looking through my old photos, and this is a Road Kings that we had a few years ago. And this is how this one looked. You can't see it very well because it's hid under that ramp, but you can clearly see that around the drop target, there is a box around it, which I figured that was how it was. So bare wood and then a box around that. So we needed to draw in a line kind of around it. What I do is I use acrylic paint pens to do the black. So I'll try to sketch that in a little bit. I am not an artist, but we'll see if we can make it look better than it does now. And then once we do that, it looks like the lines for the little ribbon that goes from bottom to top just intersect with that, and then there's some tread that goes in there too. So that kind of shows us where it's supposed to be. Like I said, I just use these. Now, you can't just use these and then play the game after you're done with it. You got to clear coat over it, because this is acrylic. It'll just wear off, or water will take it off. But the reason that I use acrylic is because it's easy to touch up, it's easy to clean up, because you can take it off with water. And the clear coat will go over it without causing it problems. If you use oil-based paint, sometimes whenever you clear coat it, you'll have all kinds of issues. So for instance, we used to, back in the day, we would use a Sharpie to touch up things like on the side of the cabinet. We did a Kiss pinball machine one time with a Sharpie, and it looked really good. And Joe worked on it for like 2 days. And then whenever we got done, we sprayed clear on it, and it made all of the Sharpie run. And so all of the Kiss guys looked like they were crying. It was pretty cool, but that wasn't what people wanted, so we had to redo the whole thing. So it causes all kinds of problems. But if you use acrylic paint, it will not do that. So obviously I just freehand drew that in there, which is fine. You know, I know everybody's like, oh, the line's crooked. People will never freaking know. Is there a crooked line on her? Who cares, right? It's art. It's just how it was drawn. So same there. Okay, so next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a bunch of red paint. So I need to find a red that's kind of, it's almost like a tomato red. So it's going to be this, and this, and this. The one up at the top is darker, but it's going to be that where, that where, that where, and that where. So we just need to put some red in, because that's kind of the background color, and we'll do the black on top of it. If you want some of these Posca pins, these are French. They're French, and they use Japanese ink. Or I think it's a Japanese company that uses French ink. It's something like that. The French and the Japanese have teamed up to make nice pens. They're not that expensive either. You can get them on Amazon. If you go on our website, we have links to them. You go to lionsarcade.com. Up at the top of the page, there is a parts page. If you click on that, there's a bunch of stuff listed on there that we use whenever we do our repairs, including these Posca pins. And like I said, they're not that expensive, but they work great on touch-ups. There's other colors too, but we usually just use the black because it's the only one that definitely matches every time. For instance, this is white, but it doesn't look very white, does it? Like, compare that white to this white. So any other color, you kind of got to mix your own. But with black, you can do it. Luckily, all of the lines on most of the games are always done in black. And just putting the lines back in makes it look a lot better. You know, even there, it already looks a lot better, in my humble opinion. So we need to find some red. Well, I'll see what I've got. Oh, if you click any of those links on Amazon, it gives us a tip if you do that. And if you decide you don't want to buy something, if you've clicked one of those links to go to Amazon, you can buy anything on Amazon, and it still gives us a tip. So if you go in there and you buy, you know, it's the 4th of July coming up, you're going to buy a watermelon for the 4th of July from Amazon and have it delivered in an hour, because they do stuff like that now, we would get a tip for you doing that. So we appreciate that, everybody that's been using our Amazon links. Let me go get some red paint. Okay, so lately I've been using this Red Alert. It's a really good color because it's a kind of bright red. And like I said, it's kind of an orangish color too. Getting something that your eye ignores the paint, the added on paint, is your goal basically. So if you look like over here, I haven't put the tread wear back in yet, or the chains, but that will blend right in the background. If you can get a perfect match, good. If you can't, make it a little bit darker than the color you're trying to make, and it'll look just like wear basically. So for instance, over here, you can see that was down to the wood, and it's gone now, but it still looks kind of worn because it's slightly too dark. But we've got that going on all over the playfield. Look here, just look at it's just a little dark. So it just looks like wear, and your eye kind of ignores it. If it's too bright, your eye sees it. Oh, look where they touched up the paint. It just doesn't look quite right. So around the drop target, you're going to be able to see the difference in the paint, because that paint under the Mylar is fresh. really nice and clean, and then what we've added is slightly darker. So you're going to see it. It's not going to be perfect, but we can camouflage some of it again with touching up the art around it. I didn't do anything on the top yet. Oh, I did too. I did around the pop bumpers, just the areas that were worn to wood. I painted the red. If we paint back in the other art on top of it, that will hide that pretty well, where you won't even be able to tell that we did that. And I didn't do all of it. I'm not trying to touch up every little thing on the playfield. I'm not really capable of doing that. Like this is underneath one of the posts. You'll never even see it. But I did try to, touch up the things that are obvious. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is go back in with the Posca ink, and we can finish some of this. Like that would be finished, and most of this would be finished. We have to add that chain back in and put some kind of like a cream colored or a buttermilk colored paint on there for the chains. But in general, that will kind of bring it all back together. Oh, and of course we can do all of that. Now, again, though, the chains need to be added in. And there's a little bit of yellow. One of the good things about doing these is that there's not a ton of colors. There's usually 6 or 7 colors. So if you look at this one, we do have about 3 different colors we got 2 reds and then an orange and a yellow that kind of goes into it. So you've got red, another red, orange, yellow, black, obviously, buttermilk, I'll call it. There's a blue and a gray. That's it. There's 8 colors. So theoretically, if you went around and touched up each of the colors, you would get the whole thing done. There's 9 colors actually, because there's a skin tone color that these two have. I think, that may actually be, I think that's actually the cream color there with red stipulated over it, and it makes it a kind of pinkish looking skin tone. Okay, so there's just 8 or 9 colors usually. You can touch that up pretty good. Yeah, so we're just trying to make it look a little better. So next thing, I'm gonna ink some of the black back in just to see if I can get it to look a little nicer, get some of it presentable, and then we'll move on. I have to clean up there too underneath that big scoop that I just took off, so I could paint that tire tread on a little bit better. Okay, so the end lane there we redid. The kick out over here I redid, obviously. And then there was a bunch of wear there that I redid. When I put the clear on it, I think it'll pull it together a little bit too, because it'll make it all the same sheen, because the paint's matte, but the original's glossy. Redid that. Looks pretty good, I think. I still need to work on the chains, like I said, but that's a completely different color. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, though, is clear in just this little area, just so that it's locked in, and then I can paint the cream on top of it, and then clear it again whenever we do that. But I'm really happy with how this looks, so I'm going to go ahead and clear it so that it saves it. Okay, so I didn't film all of it. It's kind of just, like I said, simple colors, and I just went through it and made it happen. The middle there, I think, came out pretty good. Obviously, it's not perfect, but I didn't have a good picture of what it was supposed to exactly look like. I think it'll hide under that ramp very nicely, though. And then the guy's 2 hands, it also kind of did what I could. And then the fire at the top. So all of that was the main issues. I think a lot of people, whenever they do these, they get too into like wanting everything perfect, and I don't really value perfection, partially because I'm not capable of it. So I'm not capable of making it look perfect, but I made it look a lot better than it did, I think. So we'll see how it all ends up. Joey's gonna put it all back together, and I think it'll look pretty good. I guess we'll see.
Well, I got it all cleaned up. I think it turned out pretty good. Not too shabby. Still got to work on the flipper bats a little bit. And Ronnie's touch-up turned out pretty good. Still got a little wear on it here and there, but that gives it character, you know. We're just trying to make this thing an 8. An 8 is great, is what they tell me. And if you were paying attention whenever I was taking apart the Playfield, there was another ball up there and it fell down, and the reason why it wouldn't start earlier in the video is because there wasn't a ball in it. Well, I was missing one of the balls. But I think that's probably going to do it for this video. It's getting kind of long. Next video we'll start messing with the boards, try to figure out what's going on with the displays. Could be a display problem, could be a board problem, who knows. But thanks everybody for watching, we appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.
Vengeance will be ours.